Recording is started. Today we have on the agenda 2 items, but before we go through the agenda, as usual, the antitrust policy of the Linux Foundation. I wait for some seconds so that you can read it for the 100th time, because this we have always in our meetings. Then the agenda is news. Then I think, Marcel, you want to spend some words about the status of the OpenChain Tooling Group and Friends meeting, this face-to-face meeting in the beginning of April. And then we have, luckily, Geronimo from ScanOSS. He gave us a presentation a few months ago, and there were some questions, and Geronimo and the ScanOSS team worked on these questions, and they want to give us an update about the tools, and the overview, the usage, the open source knowledge base integration into Fossology and org. And last but not least, we have, as usual, the all other business. News, you probably know, FOSS Backstage will be in Berlin on 10th and 11th of March this year. You can register for this event, and as already said and already circulated on the mailing list, this OpenChain and Friends event, which is planned for the 7th to 9th of April in Stuttgart. And I have here copied the links where you can find more information and where you can also find a link for the registration. Marcel, do you want to add something here?
Yes, perhaps I can give an update. So I'm continuously updating also those pages because I got nice feedback already today if I could add some hotels and things like that. So I also updated that one for those who are traveling. Also, to be precise here, for the first day, we start really only at the afternoon so that everyone has a nice time to come in the morning, and we start after the lunch. Rather than go to the social event in the evening. So if you know someone who wants to sponsor the evening event, you're super welcome. And so please contact us, point number 1. Point number 2, some might go to Essen then on the second day. I also added one section about train connection, etc. That should fit then also after 5 o'clock. There are some trains going to Essen. Unfortunately, we don't have those details about Essen yet, so but at least I put Essen main station. Then today I was also contacted by the Flutter Dach group, right? Because I was really checking everyone that is in the region. So we have the OWASP Stuttgart chapter. We have now the Flutter Dach group, OSADL. So people from the region of Stuttgart. So if you also know further companies that are around this area, and super welcome to also give them a hint, because we're, especially for small and medium business, we would be super happy if we could really invite them there. So therefore it's also for free that we get in contact, and ideally even for those who are already in open source compliance management, all this stuff, that we might also have someone who can do some presentation how their journey was, right? So that they can just make this knowledge transfer to other peer group, other SMEs. So that would be really the main idea. Yeah. So also to reach out to do small and medium business, but this is all around. And if you scroll down, I already put those bigger blocks in day 2, where it said, okay, in the morning everyone is a little bit tired perhaps, then we have some presentations about tool updates, etc. But then workshop, because we need to work on all those things that I also put into the email on the mailing list. That we really go through our material in the repository, the website, everything. And ideally, if everything works well, so then we also will have people from the tooling communities that could then directly provide their updates. And I also tried in this backlog, if you see that, I put not a real text in the abstract for the tools, but I said, why should we have the abstract of the tool then in another place, we could potentially then ask the people, please directly update your tool abstract in in our repository, because then this is sustainable, and we have then two benefits at once. So that is just some side notes that I could add.
Cool. Yeah, I already checked it today, so the agenda is filling up. Yeah, so which is quite nice. Cool. Are there questions with regard to the event? No.
I'm just wondering why here. Can you update the page? I hope I didn't update the wrong. Because it should be after day 3 should also be a little more updated, and also this okay, now venue and shovel is also there, so we have really nice venue there from our Postland community, and if weather is nice, so then we could even use the garden with a nice view on all over Stuttgart, or it's snow, right? So in the beginning of April here in Germany, everything's possible, from really snow to sunshine. So bring your your bath suit and your ski. Everything is possible at that time. So, but I hope for sun and nice weather.
Yeah, me too. Okay, cool. Yeah. Also some. Yeah, I see. Nice. Very nice.
Marcel, just a question. You mentioned that there are some, presentations coming in the morning. Will those be available, online as well?
No, at least we didn't plan that yet.
Yeah.
So the venue is really cool. So we could think about it. Also with recording, with hybrid everything, but that would be more effort, obviously. And therefore, I think I also put it in the email. So where we thought, but what about those people who cannot attend on site, right? So that we nevertheless want to have this information then shared, and therefore we thought, and especially as it sounds like 3 days, but at the end, if you look at those tiny slots, at the end it's not a lot, right? So we thought, okay, in order to really be able to focus then more on the socializing and also on the workshops and roundtables, that we would try to, that's what we already discussed with Shane, to make some webinars upfront or afterwards, so where we have really everything online and recorded, and then just refer to those, right? So that we here rather concentrate on on really workshop and on-site stuff, and if we have material that we say, if everyone says, hey, could we have this again in a webinar later, that we then do just a follow-up recording. Yeah. But we are completely open here, right? So everything's possible still. There's nothing is, at least now, right? Let's see next week. But for now, we're welcome to everything, right? Also contributions to people that want to help. So what we have now is the location. We have at least while those day 1, day 2, we have catering, We need a sponsor for the first for the social event in day one, and we potentially would also someone for the unconference hackathon day 3, perhaps for pizza or something like that. But so this is the frame that we can provide already. We have, as I said, this this wish to really focus on SME, and the rest is up to us, right? How we use it.
Do you have an idea, because you have mentioned, you welcome sponsors. Usually, companies expect getting something back if they put money on such an event, like being displayed as a sponsor in, keine Ahnung, during the breaks or something like that.
Yeah, we have, so here Thomas Stenbergen is potentially more experienced than I am. so he's taking over. I will just, so what we try with Shane to, because that's a markdown file, obviously, right, that we have also this OpenChain nice presentation in OpenChain as a website, everything, so that we also have at least here the possibility to show a potential sponsor, look, we put your logo or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if this is so sexy for a potential sponsor. Hey, I will be in a GitHub in a markdown file somewhere mentioned. Maybe, yes, but yeah. So we try to really also make here a very good social. So Shane is very strong in this, I think, with all this social media, and I think also what is really nice is now. We have the Informatik Forum Stuttgart that has several members. We have the OWASP with several members in the region. So people from the region ideally have a reach out. Also the Flutter Dach group now has so unknown links at the moment. So this is for us, I think, a really good possibility to reach out as a working group here. And this, I would guess that everyone who is has the same interest as we have, might find this as a good, marketing channel. Then perhaps,
I see. Cool.
And otherwise, we only drink water. Then and even bring some sweets, and we'll find something.
Exactly, I think so. Cool. Further add-ons or comments or questions? No, obviously not. Then, Geronimo, the stage is yours.
Okay, so hi everybody. I'm really happy to be here again. Maybe I can share my screen, Oliver.
I switch off my screen, and then you need to go to this plus thing, and on the bottom left side, and then you can.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay, here it is. Is my screen visible now, or?
I see you are sharing your entire screen.
Okay, no, so that is indeed, I think. Give me one sec.
That's always a problem in having more than 3 screens.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Let's try now. Okay, I think it's working now, right?
Yes, I see your screen now. Yeah.
Okay, so let me quickly jump to the slides. So I present myself very briefly. So my name is Jerónimo Ortiz. I am a DevSecOps engineer at ScanOSS. Today I'm going to talk about ScanOSS tools primarily and do a quick demo at the end of the presentation so you can see some of our tools and technologies in action. So the table of contents. I'm going to do a very brief overview of ScanOSS and the Software Transparency Foundation. Then we'll jump onto the ScanOSS open source tools and technologies. Then we'll have some demos, and we can finish up with a Q&A. So I introduced myself, but I didn't introduce ScanOSS, so let's just jump into it. So ScanOSS is a software composition analysis disruptor. And why is it a disruptor? So we try and differentiate ourselves from our competitors in the SCI market by having a business model based on committing to the open source, being transparent, and avoiding vendor locking practices at all costs. The company is remote only, and it's based in Madrid, Spain. At the time of this presentation, we are composed of more than 30 staff. So ScanOSS is a data company. What does that mean? So the value of ScanOSS is in its IP, which is the ScanOSS KB, the single largest open source software knowledge base right now. So just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, the ScanOSS KB is currently more than 20 terabytes in size. So it's a pretty large knowledge base. Diving a little bit into our business model, our target market is open source software intelligence at scale, which is usually big corporations from multiple industries such as electronics, automotive, telco, and so on. And I want to dive a little deeper into what I meant by saying that we are committed to the open source. So ScanOSS offers 100% free and open source software developed in the open. So ScanOSS software is published to our GitHub organization, and you can see all of our development process there. And by the privacy by design, I mean that we are guaranteeing data privacy, and you will see the technical aspect of that later on with the demos. So despite data and the ScanOSS KB being our source of income, we publish all the necessary tools and information required to build your own knowledge base, and that results in zero vendor locking. We also participate in several open source projects, vendor neutral forums, events, and we are founding members of the Software Transparency Foundation. And also, as part of what we call our journey towards open data, we published 2 open datasets, which are crypto algorithms open dataset that include a curated list of cryptographic algorithms, and Pool to CPE, which contains relations between CPEs and pearls. Then, what is the Software Transparency Foundation? So this is an EU-based foundation with the mission of solving software supply chain transparency. As part of their numerous initiatives, they offer osskb.org. That is a free-of-charge service that enables open-source upstream developers and projects to create complete SBOMs through ScanOSS and/or third-party tools. osskb.org provides access to OSSKB, which is the open-source software knowledge base, through an open API developed by ScanOSS. And the OSSKB and ScanOSSKB share a few things. So, file and snippet level scanning of open source code, detection of declared and undeclared open source software in your software, and the licenses dataset that includes detection of license obligations, compatibility, copyright notices, attributions, and so on. This is supported by every language. So with that out of the way, we can jump on to the open source SCA tools published by ScanOSS. So these are the main points of ScanOSS. So development in the open, I already talked about that. All this presentation has lots of links, so maybe later on I can share it so you can explore all the resources. Zero vendor locking, I also explained, so the possibility of building your own knowledge base with ScanOSS technologies and using ScanOSS or third-party clients, scanners, and open APIs to use your own KB. And as I told you earlier, this is the privacy technical part. So scanning logic in ScanOSS works in a way that users are scanning their code against ScanOSS KB and not the other way around. So this is achieved by using hash-based matching of your code. So you aren't even scanning your code, just code fingerprints, which are winnowing algorithm checksums, very lightweight. We call them code fingerprints, right? So other important point is the extreme flexibility. ScanOSS is API based. That means users, developers can use ScanOSS tools, third-party tools, or even create their own tools and integrations, right? Here is a chart of our tools. So we have a few sections. Starting from the top, going down to the bottom. Miner is the tool we use for data mining to create our own KB. This is also published for everyone, and this is one of the tools that you can use to create your own KB. The engine is part of our server stack, so you would need to have the ScanOSS engine running on your machine to be able to leverage your own knowledge base. In this case, if you choose to scan against OSSKB, you wouldn't need neither engine or miner. Our Open API is also published. LDB is the data structure we use to store our knowledge base. So we had the need to develop our own database system because for the size of our KB, queries of that amount of items and size would be almost impossible. So LDB, we call it a database management system, but it's more like a data structure. So that is better for scanning speed. And then we had SDKs. So we have a Java SDK. We are constantly updating at the moment. We also have Python, and JavaScript SDK. Then we have CLIs in Python, Java, and JavaScript as well. Then we have the S1 Workbench, which is an auditing platform with a graphical user interface. We have CI/CD integration for major platforms such as Jenkins, SonarQube, GitLab, GitHub Actions, and so on, and extensions for developers, so IDE plugins and desktop applications. So from the last time we presented here, this chart was one of the part of the feedback we received because it explains more the architecture of ScanOSS. So each of ScanOSS or the Software Transparency Foundation servers hosting the OSSKB in this case have the ScanOSS engine, the API, and knowledge base on them. The engine handles the scanning matching logic. The API allows users to query the service, and the knowledge base contains the information for users to scan against. Mining servers use Miner and LDB to mine data from different sources, such as GitHub, NPM, and so on, and build and update the KB accordingly. Then the user queries the ScanOSS API with their software of choice, so either ScanOSS, third party, or else, and gets the scan results for their code. So now, sorry.
Can you go back to the diagram?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I see it, you mentioned before that you can use third-party tools, and yeah, now that I see you presenting it, they are not there. It might be a good option to put the third-party tools, or at least a couple of examples that, because in the client side I just see the Scanos ones,
Yep.
but we put there, the Fossologies or RTs of the world that are already consuming the API.
Yeah. So, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will share links of the most common third-party tools you can also use ScanOSS with, which are ORT, Fossology, and Fosslite. I can then show some documentation about that. And jumping to the demos, I have 2 demos prepared for today. So the first one will be using the ScanOSS Python client, ScanOSS Py, and we will be scanning source code for declared and declared OSS components and dependencies, and then generate an SPDX Lite SBOM. So if I can jump to this, let me know if you can read the terminal or
Yes.
font
Yes.
size. Okay. Okay, so the ScanOSS Python client is a CLI, also free and open source to use. It's published to PyPy, so you can install it by running pip install ScanOSS, and there's not more configuration other than that. So for today, I prepared a few repositories. So the Vue.js library on the core folder, the MetaRisk5 repo, and setlib. So we can scan a few projects, different projects, right? So the command for scanning source code would be scanoss py scan, and then the folder of choice or file of choice. In this case, we can scan MetaRisk5 and trigger the scan. A quick reminder, I didn't said previously, this demo, as well as the other, will be done using OSSKB, which is the STF published free open source knowledge base, right? So the speed, as I was telling you, was quite speed, right? Quick. So this scan was for, I will tell you how many files. Sorry, so 187 files in about 2 seconds or so. So here I'm showing you the raw results of the scan. So this is not on a standardized format. This is just JSON. This is not an SBOM, so this is just a JSON of the scan results, where we can see, for example, for this component, MetaRisk5, we are looking at the file we have locally, the file hash I was telling you about when I was talking about privacy, the URL of the file on the KB, the type of the match. So this is a file match, not a snippet match. And then we can see information about licenses. Down below, we can see the match percentage. So this being a file match, it's matching 100% to the original source code, open source component, sorry. And the package URL, information about the KB, and so on, right? Then for creating our SBOM, we support different formats. So for example, SPDX Lite and CycloneDX. For this case, we'll do a SPDX Lite software bill of materials. So we can use the same command as before, but we can add the flag -f and the format of choice, so SPDX Lite. Sorry. It was without a dash. So here we can see the SPDX Lite SBOM, right? Right here it starts. So the typical specs, date license, ID, name, and so on. So this is for ScanOSS Pi. I'll be answering questions later during the Q&A section. But yeah, we can jump to the other demo, which is a CI/CD integration demo. So the use case for this one would be to automatically detect and block pull requests containing undeclared components, dependencies, or copyleft license code on a GitHub repository, right? The tools and services that we will use during this demo are osskb.org again, and the ScanOSS code scan action, which is a GitHub Actions integration we published. And I will show you how the setup looks like and a demo of the integration working. So we can go to the repo I prepared for this presentation. The source folder, we have some source files I selected here. So just to do a quick note, the clients and API calls you can do from your own machine have a speed of it's limited by your server's machine, right? So it will be much faster than running it from GitHub, which uses GitHub speed. So it will not be as quick as if you run it locally, right? So that's why I grabbed a few files instead of a few hundred. Then on the .github workflows, we have the YAML file for this action. So this is already published. You have a few options to configure this. So adding the policies right here for copyleft and undeclared components detection and dependencies scanning as well. Here you can either use the API key for ScanOSS service or don't use it and use OSSKB as a default, right? So I will do a quick pull request from a branch that we will call dep, right? For example, I would just add a space right here, a blank space, just to do a commit, right? So let's say update, for example, commit. Then we can go to the repository and create the pull request. And you can see that the action triggered a few checks. So checking for the copyleft licenses on the code, undeclared components policy also, and dependency scanning that we will see in the raw JSON output that this action produces. So I added a quick note on speed because of this. So just so you know. Okay, some checks failed here. The undeclared component policy failed, and why is that? So it detected a few undeclared components. So the logic behind this integration is having an SBOM JSON file to keep track of your open source components in your project. And in this case, it's detecting that these two packages, so DMD and klibc, weren't in that SBOM JSON file. And for that, the policy is failing. Then no copyleft licenses were detected here, so that policy passed. And on the summary for this action, we can see a licenses chart. So the licenses detected here, and they are not copyleft. And if we go below, we can see the artifacts these produce. So the results JSON, raw, output I showed you previously with ScanOS Pi, and Markdown, which represents basically this chart and this table for the policies, right? So you can use this integration, as I said, with OSSKB or ScanOS as you prefer, and use it right now. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Can you use it
sorry.
for your own knowledge base?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You would need
what would I need to do?
So basically, you would need to first create your knowledge base with Miner and LDB, as I explained previously, and then I can show you on the workflows part. So it varies on the setup of the user, but right here you have the options to add an API URL of your hosted knowledge base, and if you have API key authentication set up, you can also use the API key option, right? So yeah, we can now jump onto the Q&A. So if you have any questions.
Cool, great. Thank you, Geronimo, for this demo. Are there questions to Geronimo or the entire setup?
Yes. But Agustin here already mentioned that the other Agustin will show up in the event, because you showed me something I think it was in Mainz, right, in the OCX, about this fast feedback directly, commit-based thingy. Does this baby already have a name, and would you also be able to demo this now? Because I think that is really, really cool.
Yeah, so I wasn't at OCX. I think you're confusing me with one of my teammates, but I think that you are referring to ScanOS Code Compare or Like UI.
Yes, that is exactly what he was referring to.
Okay, so let me check if I have it configured on this machine, and I can show you. Sure.
Only if there are other questions, but yeah, would be cool if you show it again.
No,
Okay.
it would be very nice if you can show this. So this example repo will be online for quite some while, or do you intend to archive this or something like that?
Sorry, come again, Oliver? I didn't hear that.
So this example repo where you have worked on now with this in order to show us the demo, will this be online for quite a while, or do you intend to?
Yeah, so we have an integration demo repository which is public, and I will link it in the chat.
Cool.
So yeah, that will be available as long as possible. So I don't see any issue with having it public. And also just a quick note here. So everything is published. I will be sharing links, but everything is published at our GitHub organization. So ScanOS, and it will appear. And also we have some documentation that we worked on from the last time I was here, because there was an important need to document our tools. And I will be also sharing the link on the chat. So
great.
Yeah. So if there aren't any questions, maybe I can quickly show the last slide right here. So these are all of our resources right here, and also the STF links. As I told you, I will be sharing the slides. Oliver, you then tell me from where I can share them, so you have them available. And yeah. So
Yes.
any last question before I can show the code compare tool?
I will send you the link then afterwards. Yeah. So obviously, there are no further questions. Then I think all are eager to see the code compare feature.
Okay, let me quickly stop sharing and I'll take something real quick. Okay, so I'm afraid I don't have it configured on this computer, but the least I can do is share you the repository for this tool, which is hosted at github.com/scanoss/scanoss.cc. So there you have all the information on how to set up and use the tool.
Okay.
Or you just say you come to the event and you will see it live at the event. Some promotion.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know if I was going to share the links of the documentation. I will do that as well. And yeah.
So Augustine had already posted in the chat that your colleague will show it there.
Yeah, he will show it there. Sorry, I just read it. So yeah, he will show it there. So well, thank you again for having me, and I hope that the topics I showed you were interesting at least.
Yes. For me, they were very interesting. So thank you very much for the presentation and preparing the showcases.
Thank you.
So are there any other business for you want to share with the group?
So no, that was much it. So the note on the feedback we received. So about the documentation, last time we didn't have a lot of documentation to show, but right now we updated the website, and hopefully you will find more detailed information and docs about our tools, how to set up and how to use them.
Cool.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Okay, then I think we are at our last agenda item, which is the all other business topic for all of the participants in the call. So do you have any all other business you want to share? Perhaps some news, some law cases or court cases or something like that?
I don't have a court case, but another news, or not, it's not yet news, but just as a heads up, from also the OpenChain side, I will share the link to the LinkedIn post of Vladimir, who might be known to some of you, and he's in Sofia, right? So in Bulgaria. And so what we try here is also to establish some for the locals there, the Balkan area, etc. So everyone around Bulgaria, Romania, to also have then kind of a chapter for OpenChain. And also they plan to have a C++ event there that they're currently preparing. So just that you know. So if you're interested, please follow up for Vladimir. I think he will inform here, and especially if you have people or colleagues in this area, they might be also interested.
Okay.
Yep, that's just as a hint.
Cool. Thank you. Further topics? Obviously not. Then, thank you very much for joining our meeting. Thank you again, Geronimo, for this very nice presentation. And also thank you, Marcel, for the updates on the planned event. And I hope to see you all there in beginning of April. Having said this, I wish you a very pleasant evening and goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Tschüss.
Tschüss.